Maybe it'll be a short trial.
Maybe you'll decide to let another attorney look after B.J. Walker's case.
Maybe you'll decide to disqualify yourself from presiding over this trial.
Maybe this will be a very short trial.
We'll make up for lost time when we're finished.
You would let me stay, you know. I make one hell of a doorman. Judge Avery, please come in.
Your housekeeper told me that I'd find both of you here. I apologize for the lateness of the hour, but I heard something that disturbs me greatly. Is it true you've resigned from the district attorney's office to defend young B.J. Walker?
Yes, it's true.
Were you aware of this when I assigned you to preside over the case? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. I only know that one of you is going to have to withdraw. Now, which is it to be?
I heard screaming. What is it?
Nothing. She's fine.
I did it. I looked at his terrible, distorted, taunting face, and I pulled the trigger.
No, BJ, no.
BJ? Now tell me, what happened? Did it come back to you? Did you remember what happened that night?
I shot him.
No, you didn't. She had a nightmare. Something. She was dreaming something that wasn't even real.
BJ, tell me what happened in the dream.
Don't do it, BJ.
Warren, what's wrong with you?
Well, this is all ridiculous. Why get upset and rehash something that was only a dream?
Was it, Warren?
What is this, a raid?
Angela, why don't you wait outside,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go with her.
What the hell is going on here?
Well, Dad, I think you can figure that out. Hey, Lily, why don't you come on out of there? You're going to suffocate.
Hi, Cece. Hi, Angela. Welcome to, Waratanga. Ted, I told you to lock the door.
Well, I mean, how could I do that?
Let's get outside.
Hey, wait a minute. I got a question for you. What are you doing here?
I came here to surprise you.
Oh, well, you did that. Yeah. So, why don't you go on ahead and leave so we can get dressed? Please. It worked. Did you see the look on their faces?
Yeah, I saw it.
Then why are you looking like your puppy just got run over? The plan worked. They think we were making out like a couple of bunnies in heat.
It's not what your dad was thinking. He's thinking he was right about Lily Blake all along. She's just like her mom. A tramp.
What's going on is two married people having a good time.
Look at her. Has something happened?
Ken, what's happening? What's going on?
Obviously, Kelly thinks something's wrong.
Oh, gosh. What is that? Sleep. Just let me wake up.
Just like last night when you fell and hit your head?
Huh?
Mother, what is wrong with you?
Oh, nothing except you're asking funny, peculiar questions.
I can't help it. This is the second time I've come here and found you groggy and stumbling around like you're some kind of a zombie.
Ken and I were playing Scrabble, and I went to sleep. Is that what happened?
No, it was a trick. You knew I was going to win the game, so you deliberately dozed off so you could spoil my moment of victory. I'll make some coffee, and maybe that'll give you enough time to wake up so I can win my $3 back.
Can you need a hand?
No, you're a cop, aren't you? Why don't you stay here and question my victim so you can figure out what kind of spell I'm casting on her?
Mama, this fatigue is not normal. Remember when Eden and I were dating and you'd be up all night waiting for us? You're tireless.
Kelly, I don't think your mom has to wait up to see that you've met your curfew.
Thank you very much. Look, I know that it's hard for you to see me with someone other than your father.
Please. This has nothing to do with that. Just something's not right here. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, what do you think is
Kelly,
right?
why don't we get going and leave your mom alone? She's tired.
I'm not leaving her.
Kelly.
No, you'll have to humor me, okay? I mean, look, this is a great opportunity. I've been wanting to spend some time with you and use the Scrabble board. I'm sure McCabe won't mind. But just hang out with you and Ken and play some Scrabble.
Connor, if she's anything like her mother, get away now. This family plays Scrabble like it's a matter of life or death.
I'll see if I can't muddle through one game. As long as Kelly's not too rough on me.
Well, I'll try not to be. We can always limit the game to monosyllabic words, though, if that's easier for you. What's this? I'm hearing about these headaches you're having now? For how long? Why?
Because my daughter is asking me so many silly questions. Karen, would you hurry up and get back in here? Kelly's picking on me.
I'm on my way. There, that should do it.
I told BJ Walker that I would represent her in court, and I intend to keep my word. However, if you would like to appoint another judge, so be it.
Judge Avery is aware that I cannot be removed from a case without cause, and I guarantee I intend to conduct this trial in such a manner to cause no one any concern.
This case is going to garner a lot of publicity. Now, what are you going to say to the press when they accuse you of discussing the case over breakfast?
I will point out that we're not discussing this over breakfast, lunch, or anything else. I'm going to be living here.
You mean you're not only resigning your job with the district attorney's office, you're moving out, leaving your husband and your child for a case?
Not for a case, for a life. For BJ Walker.
Your Honor, I assure you, this trial will be conducted impartially, and justice will be served.
I am sure that you have the best of intentions, but I'm just not comfortable with this situation. So now if the two of you cannot work this out between...
I'm sure you're aware there's a precedent for a husband and wife serving as judge and attorney. It's Stiles versus Greenbaum, California Superior Court.
As always, Miss Capwell has done her homework.
Yes, Julia. I am familiar with the case. And legally, it is a sound precedent to use. You might, however, be interested to know that the personal cost was high. Shortly after his trial, the judge and the attorney filed divorce papers.
I'm sure that that's not going to happen to us.
You see, we've agreed to keep our professional and our personal lives separate.
Well, that sounds good on paper. But I saw the two of you on that talk show. I've seen mortal enemies be kinder to one another than the two of you were.
You said that was unfortunate. That was a mistake. That was my mistake.
And I was not the soul of consideration either, but I'm sure that the two of us have learned from this experience.
Well, I'm going to give you something that neither of you wants. Advice. I've known both of you a long time. Seen how hard you struggled to stay together. Cases, jobs, they come and go. But a loving marriage is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I urge you not to sacrifice your life together for personal ambition or pride.
Mason and I are aware that this will cause a strain on our marriage. But there are problems that are more important than the personal lives of Mason and Julia Capwell. Such as our intelligence and our experience and all that we can offer to help see that justice is served. Now, Mason and I have been on opposite sides of issues, politics, and just about everything that you can think of. But I will bet my last nickel that he is with me on this.
When B.J. Walker goes to trial, I will be on the bench. And the eminently worthy Mrs. Mason Capwell will be counsel for the defense.
And I sincerely hope that this will not be remembered as the night that you decided to sacrifice your marriage for the greater good.
Do you know what I think about this dream? I think that's exactly what it was, just a dream. And you've got to put it out of your mind.
Warren, I've spent my whole life putting unpleasant thoughts out of my mind. No more. I want to know what happened that night that Frank was murdered.
Well, good. That's why you're here with Skyler, to work with him and to find out, not to dream about killing Frank and to think that it really happened.
Skyler, what do you think? What does it mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't have any details. I don't know what happened in the dream.
Well, why don't you tell her what you think of dreams? Why don't you tell her that you can't take them literally? Dreams are just a reaction of fear, of being afraid of something. You could be afraid of being hurt by someone, and you have a dream that you actually hurt them only because you're...
Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I want to know what this dream meant. Will it help me if I try to remember it?
Well, I can't promise that, BJ, but what I can tell you is it's better to confront a truth rather than hide from it.
This is all a waste of time, in my opinion.
Warren, I understand that you love BJ and that you want to protect her, but encouraging her to hide from her feelings is not the way to do it. Go ahead, BJ. Tell us about the dream.
Hey, this is supposed to be fun. It's a payback to my dad for interfering in my life, and for Энджела for interfering with my dad. Lily, it's not going to be worth it if you get hurt in the process.
I'm not really all that hurt, Ted. I'm used to people looking at me like I'm some sort of super bimbo. God, if they only knew.
Listen to me. If they knew, then they would know that you've got class. Not the kind that comes with a fancy pedigree or with a designer wardrobe. I'm talking about the real thing.
You think?
I know. So come on. Let's go tell my dad the truth.
And what? Let them get away with flying all the way down here to rub your nose in their relationship? No way. No.
Are you sure? Because, if my father's, getting in the way and he's going to hurt you, then I don't...
He can't touch a babe with real class, right? So come on, lover boy. Let's go give Big Daddy and the Queen of Handcuffs a taste of their own medicine. Okay?
I don't know. It just gets all hazy.
All right. Don't force it. Just go with what you remember.
She already said she doesn't remember.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the end of it. I was holding the gun, and I looked at him, and I pulled the trigger. He was dead. I used to wish he was dead. All the time. I used to imagine my mom getting this phone call and then coming into my room all serious and saying BJ, Frank Goodman, was killed in a plane crash, a car crash, or he was shot by a thug that he was trying to arrest. But in all of those scenarios, I was always passive, I was never the one that did it.
You didn't do it this time either, no matter what happens in your dreams.
Is that true? Is it possible that I could have dreamt this and still not have killed him?
Well, anything is possible, BJ. For example, you wish Frank Goodman were dead, but you can't bring yourself to doing anything about that except in your dreams. That would be a wish fulfillment dream. However, we can't rule out the possibility that you did shoot him.
So, this dream doesn't help one way or the other.
Well, that's not necessarily true. This whole thing is like a big puzzle. We're just trying to get a clear picture of what happened that night. And every thought and every memory, even if it's generated within a dream, gives us a clearer picture.
Now what?
I think we should call Julia and tell her about this dream.
Why? Lawyers don't deal with dreams, they deal with facts.
Warren, I think what Skyler is saying is that this dream might be a fact. And we better make sure that my lawyer is prepared for it.
These things can do damage to your eye, you know that? So you really think we should stay here, huh?
It's not what I think that matters. If you have any hope of ever making peace with your son, this is as good a time as any, don't you think?
No. I think my being here can have the opposite effect. And when we don't communicate, I say one thing, he says another, and we go 10 rounds.
Maybe it's because you never say what's really on your mind. Why don't you try not being a role model, a disciplinarian, just try being his friend. Ask him to come home.
He'd laugh in my face.
So what? Is your pride more important to you than your son?
Hey, Dad, I wanted to ask you what you meant by breaking into our room like you did.
You're right. I apologize for barging in the way I did. I did try to call, but the phone line was busy.
Oh, that would be my fault. I took the phone off the hook so we wouldn't be disturbed.
Well, next time you might try closing and locking the door.
Well, locks aren't my thing.
No, I was chasing you. Remember, I was the last one in. Yeah, I guess that locks were the last thing on my mind. Hey, I was going to ask you two, what are you two lovebirds doing here in Bortunga?
I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to make sure you were all right.
Well, Angela, I think that is so nice of you to come all this way just to keep CC company while he checks on his son.
Well, CC's company is so enjoyable, I think I'd go almost anywhere with him.
Well, if you're looking for romance, came to the right place. I have never had a better time in my entire life. Never. Ever. And now that you know that I'm okay, why don't you two have a nice time tonight, all right? Have a nice evening.
Good night.
So there I was with my hand right there and this enormous scorpion ready to bite me with his fangs or with his teeth or whatever scorpion's at. I would have put my hand right on it if Ken hadn't been there. I really would have. You know, you are absolutely my hero.
Oh, shucks, ma'am, it wasn't anything. No, you're very awake right now, aren't you?
I am. It's your coffee. I love your coffee. It's so good.
Thank you.
Isn't it good? Don't you love his coffee? What, yes?
It's your turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's my turn and I have the word right here. See? Recycle. R-E-C-Y-C-L. There's the E. There you go. Recycle. Okay.
Heather, you could have had a triple word score.
Oh, I'm not in this for blood, really. I just put down my boring little word and it'll just lay there just like it is. Okay, Special Agent McCabe, it's your turn, but don't dilly-dally because Kelly will get very angry with you.
I would really like it if you would call me Connor.
Connor. I have problems calling you Connor because I keep saying Special Agent McCabe in the newspaper all the time. Special Agent McCabe thinks Cruz is guilty, thinks B.J. Walker is guilty, thinks all the Walkers are guilty. You seem to be after all the people that I care about.
Well, you know, it's tough to make friends when you're being secret agent mad.
Cruz can always do it.
Sweetheart, why don't we just lighten up on our guest? Kelly, more metaphors or coffee? Something?
No, thank you. Mom, you should probably cover your letters.
Kelly, I promise I won't look.
Oh, so I got a great idea. Why don't we swear you in as detective? She'd be great, wouldn't she?
Yes.
Are you going to play or not?
Ooh. All right, I have a word. Q-I-V-I-U-T.
Kviet? I challenge that. Kviet.
Well?
I challenge that. No way.
You know what? I think you should look it up.
Can I go back to sleep?
No, you can't. If you do, Kelly will accuse me of putting a spell on it.
And I shot him. And then I woke up.
Did you see him fall?
I don't know.
Think, BJ. What happened after he was shot? What happened before? Was he standing, sitting, walking, what?
I don't know. It's not there. I remember his face, and that's all.
What difference does it make? We're talking about a dream here.
We don't know that. Isn't it possible that these were re-emerging memories?
Yes, it's possible.
She already said that she doesn't remember, right? What difference does it make? You're not going to bring this up in the court of law anyway, are you?
Warren, will you relax, please? We're all on the same side. If I'm going to help BJ, I have to know what she knows. So what? Could it be a dream or reality?
Well, BJ and I have made great progress in getting to the truth of what happened that night. But whether this dream is a part of that or not, it's just too soon for me to judge right now. BJ is the only one with the answer to that.
Exactly. She said that she doesn't know, so maybe we ought to just drop this.
BJ, what are your feelings? Do you feel like it was a dream, or do you feel like it was something that really happened that night?
Before I answer that, can I ask you a question?
You don't have to answer anything.
You can ask me anything you'd like.
If it's true, if I did do it, what could happen to me?
The wool of the undercoat of a musk ox. Oh, stands to reason that you'd know all about the underbelly of a creature, doesn't it?
Kelly, it's not the underbelly, it's the undercoat. So, now you know what you have to do.
Yes, I know what I have to do, thank you.
I think I'm out of my league here. I've never really played Scrabble as a blood sport before.
Wait a minute, you're not into this game for the competition?
No, it's not my thing.
Really? What is your thing, Ken?
Well, it's no secret that I don't come from money, so I usually like to do things that don't cost a lot, like walking on the beach, listening to music, stuff like that.
Well, Scrabble doesn't cost much money, does it?
No, but it's not very much fun to play alone, and I've spent a lot of my time being alone. I don't want to do that anymore. Not now.
The Quetzal.
Quetzal?
Quetzal.
What is that, another language for pretzel?
No, Quetzal. Okay, I got very funny. I got 10 for the Q. I've got 10 for the Z.
Excuse me. That is not a word.
Oh, yes, it is a word.
No, it's not. It is not a word.
Yes, it is a word. It's a Central American bird that has a brilliant plumage.
Maybe, but you spelled it wrong. It's Quetzal.
No.
No. We got it.
Let me spoil.
We got it. And listen, why don't you add up the scores after you find the word?
Quetzal. So, what?
So, Mr. Pain in the Butt is right. It is A-L.
No, not
knew that.
So about that. So about what are you doing? What about you and Connor McCabe? What is this?
What is this? This is nothing. It's nothing. He's an acquaintance of mine, that's all.
So you bring him over to meet your mother?
I didn't bring him over to meet my mother. Excuse me. He happened to be with me when I decided I wanted to come over and see you, that's all.
What's wrong with you tonight? You know what? I haven't seen you smile once. I want to see you smile. Because when you smile, you light up the room.
Oh, please. I haven't had too much to smile about lately, Mom. Are you okay? I'm worried about you.
I'm fine. I am finally fine. I mean, what this emotion I'm having is happiness. I'm finally happiness. I've taken all that life I had before, that ruined love, and I put it behind me, and I found a new love. And you know what? That's why I understand what you're going through, baby. I really do, and I want you to do the same thing. Because life is much too short to live it alone.
Mom, I don't want anybody else but Cruz.
I know you feel that way now. But you can't hang on to this. You can't just stop your life because there's a chance that he might not come back.
And there's a chance that he will. I think he will. And I'm going to keep hoping.
We decided, you and I, when I agreed to take this case, that we would be very honest with one another.
I'm trying to be.
I'm talking about me. I'm going to be dead straight with you about this, and it's not going to be pleasant.
Words can't hurt me.
All right, BJ, here's the deal. You want to know what happens to you if you plead guilty.
Well, she's not going to do that, first off.
This is a capital case. In most situations, the prosecution won't accept a plea bargain in a murder case. Not in this state.
You say in most cases. What are the exceptions?
If the prosecutor doesn't feel he has a strong case, if there's not enough evidence, there's some mitigating circumstances.
Every bit of evidence against her is circumstantial.
But it's strong nonetheless. If this were an ordinary case, they'd get a conviction, but the prosecution knows this is not an ordinary case. A jury could be swayed by the fact that BJ alleges she was molested by Frank.
I don't allege it. It happened. Please, all this legal talk is just scaring me. Just give me the bottom line. What will happen if I say, yes, this wasn't a dream, and I remember it, and I killed Frank?
In my opinion, I can bargain it down to manslaughter, and that's the best possible scenario.
So what does that mean? Will I get probation or something?
It means jail, BJ. It's mandatory. 6 months to a year, and that's the best we can hope for.
A year. Locked up for a year.
I've been honest with you. Now I need you to be honest with me. The scene that you just described, is that a dream? Or was that something that really happened? Do you believe that you killed Frank?
You ready for Act 2? What do you want?
Manners aren't a big thing with you, are they? It's surprising, because your father's very well-mannered.
Well, then why aren't you chasing him around while he says please and thank you?
Because you and I have something to talk about. Like Act 2. What's Act 2?
Act 2 is the second part of my evening with Lily.
Well, I don't know exactly what was going on between you and Lily, but you can stop pretending it's anything like what we had. Don't you think I remember every moment we spent together? Don't you think I know the real thing when I see it?
What I think is you can't handle the fact that you're so easily replaced. Well, you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind.
Well, maybe I need to jog your memory. Help you remember what the real thing is like.
I suggest you not wish for things you cannot have.
I thought you just liked to control people's lives. I didn't realize you got to decree what they wish for as well.
You can wish for anything you want. But if you want Ted, you're not going to get him.
You get to decide that, huh?
No. I'll do whatever I can to make him make the right decision. Continuing this, thing you two have, I think is unwise for both of you.
Now you're worried about me. I'm touched.
I was hoping that when you came back to Santa Barbara, you'd change. I guess I was wrong. You are your mother's daughter.
I'm me. And how dare you pretend to know who that is? You know, Cece, you haven't said 2 words to me since I got back into town. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. When you kicked me out of the gatehouse when I had nowhere else to go, you said, get out.
You have any questions about why that happened, I suggest you take it up with your mother.
My mother is who she is. I don't apologize for her either. And as I said before, we're 2 completely different people.
I thought you were different, but I guess I was wrong. You see, Katrina left Ted because you two were having an affair. He didn't know what he had.
You know, Cece, if you're so hot on Katrina, why don't you marry her? Oh, that's right. You're a little too busy with Angela Cassidy, aren't you?
You better watch your mouth.
Why? Because you're older than me? It's all right for you to come on in here and sit down and trash me, but the second I try to defend myself, I'm out of line.
All right. If you feel that I am trashing you, I'm sorry. I just want what's best for my son.
Cece, why don't you let him decide what that is?
Young girls with their eyes on the family fortune have a way of influencing decisions.
Honest to God, Cece, I think you see gold diggers under the bath mat. You must not have a very high opinion of your son if you think that a woman wouldn't love Ted for himself.
Let's just say I'm a realist, then. A realist who pays his own way. So why don't you tell me what it takes to go away and leave Ted alone?
What it takes, you don't have. Oh, and for the record, Ted is twice the man you'll ever be. And if you want my opinion, I think you know that. Just bugs the hell out of you, doesn't it?
What do you want me to say? The guy was an axe murderer when I didn't see anything wrong with him?
How could you see anything at all when you're so hell-bent on winning that stupid game?
It's a throwaway game. I wanted to put him at ease, which was an almost impossible task with you constantly accusing him of being a wife murderer every other minute.
Are you going to run a background check on him or not?
Are you sure that this feeling isn't just about your mother being married to another man, a younger one to boot?
Look, did I already tell you about the conversation on the phone I overheard?
He said he was talking about money. People talk about money on the phone.
McCabe, it's not what he said, it's how he said it. Would you trust me here, please? I have this really bad feeling right here.
Okay. So are you sure that this feeling is about Ken and your mother?
What else would it be about?
Maybe you're just so busy worrying about your mother that you don't have time to think about your own life.
We are talking about my mother, and I love her dearly. My concerns about her are valid and they're real. Whatever's going on in my personal life is none of your damn business.
Well, I'm so far off the mark. Why are you going nuts?
I'm going nuts because I find you really irritating. Would you please just go?
You feel better? They have a nice life.
I'm not sure, Julia. And that's as honest as I can be. Before I had this dream, I would have sworn that I didn't kill Frank, but now I'm just not so sure.
Well, until you are, why don't we start working out a defense?
Our key here is showing what kind of man Frank Goodman really was.
Not showing, proving. There's a big difference. Right now, we have to find somebody other than BJ that knows Frank for what he was.
You know, it's been found that in most of these cases, people who abuse were abused themselves. What if we could prove that Frank Goodman was one of these people?
Anything we can get will help, but the key will be BJ's testimony.
Will I have to go on the stand?
You don't have a choice, BJ. You're the only one that can get up there and tell your story. But you have to know that you're going to be fair game to the prosecution, and that won't be easy.
Well, do you think they'll be interested in hearing the truth or just in proving they were right to arrest me?
Everything tends to get mixed up in that situation. But don't worry about that. That's my job.
What's mine?
You've got the hardest job of all. You've got to decide and let me know whether you want to plead guilty or innocent.
Hi, Angela. I think CC is looking for you.
Lily, baby, where have you been? I've been waiting for you.
We'll finish our discussion later. You can count on it.
Hit the cold shower.
Did you see me? I was trying to figure out a game plan.
Yeah, I know that game, Ted. You're not playing, not until we've nailed your dad.
Did you ever run in with him?
Look, put it this way. I want his blood.
Did you see her? Huh? Did you see the look on her face? She thought that I was going to turn to jello the second she touched me.
Actually, Ted, you did.
Well, they both need to be taught a lesson. Blood it is.
You know, I absolutely don't know what's wrong with me. One minute I'm so exhausted I can't keep my eyes open. The next minute I feel like I want to run 30 miles and clean all the silverware and paper the powder room.
Oh, don't you think that erratic behavior is kind of normal in these circumstances?
Under what circumstances? What are you talking about?
I'm not an expert, but I do know that at a certain age, women start going through different changes.
Menopause? I'm not going through menopause. I'll be ready for that. I mean, if it
All right, don't pay attention to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just thought that, forget it. You're cute. You're adorable. Just don't pay for the powder room. Come to bed, please.
It couldn't be that.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to make love to my beautiful, desirable wife. So, why don't you run upstairs, get the bed all warm for me, and I'll lock the door, do a quick scorpion check, and I'll be right up.
The best invitation I've had all night.
Okay. Andy. Yeah, I know. Look, the stuff that I gave Sophia to knock her out worked really well until I got up opening out the door and I met her daughter and her cop friend. So I had to pump her full of uppers to keep her awake. Yeah, I know. So that's hell on me, too. But it may not last as long as I thought. I've got a great idea. No, I can't tell you, but on the phone I'll tell you tomorrow. All right. I'll be thinking about you all night.
I still can't understand how you let Connor McCabe in the door, let alone take him to Sophia's.
Mason, please, it's a long story. He has a very sweet dog.
Well, that explains everything.
I'm going to bed. What do you think of Ken?
What?
Ken, Mom's husband. What do you think of him?
I don't know the man. But if he makes Sophia happy, good for her.
Well, that's not good enough. Hi. Hi. Welcome home. I'm going to bed.
Oh, I sure can clear a room.
I want to go to bed, too, with you. Come on.
Just hold on to that thought until the trial is over.
We don't have to talk. I won't even moan.
Mason, I've just come back from a meeting with a client. It is unethical for me to even be in the same room with you.
I know that. And I hate it.
Me too. Come on.
Oh.
Mason, control yourself. Mason.
What were you and Skyler talking about?
We were talking about finding out whether Frank had been abused himself or a victim of incest.
I don't see what good that'll do.
Could help Julia prove to a jury that he really did do what he did.
I wish there was some evidence that could tell me if I'd killed Frank or not.
Your heart told me the truth. You didn't do it.
You're just saying that because you love me. Well,
Well, what?
you love me. It felt nice saying that. It was even nicer knowing it. It's about the only thing I do know right now.
Well, maybe it's the only thing you really need to know. Why don't you get some sleep? You may see everything more clearly in the morning.
I hope so. Because tomorrow I have to decide. Do I plead innocent or guilty?
Men need help sometimes. They can't see what's good for them, even if it's staring them right in the face. Take Ted, for example. We could have been perfect together, but do you think he knows it? Instead, he's taking it out on his father. He just needs a little nudge in the right direction. I'll have him back home in Santa Barbara in no time. And he'll think it was all his idea.
This week on Days of Our Lives, the man she once loved became the man she now loathes. But will Carly discover she still has deep feelings for Lawrence Alamain? This week on Days of Our Lives.